What's going on, guys? I'm Bergs, that's Longy, and this is NRL Last Minute Madness Magic Round. What's going on, guys? Bergs and Longy here from The Casual Athlete, back at it again for our Magic Round tips, predictions, and fantasy analysis via the TBC Live app that you can download in the description below. It is Last Minute Madness, and we are back in the studio this week as Longy is back from his NRL Fantasy TED Talk tour of the world. Mate, have you had some good time off? It's been a bit lonely doing videos without you.
I mean, it's been work, mate. Been out in the bush, shooting kids with archery tag, and
Oh, wow.
teaching life lessons along the way. So, it's been a good time. But Matt, keen to be in the studio, and then off to my Magic Round.
Yeah, we're off to Magic Round this week. It's gonna be awesome. We're running an event. Do you want to tell the viewers a little bit more about that?
Yeah, guys. So come along. I'm already meeting. I've got about 100 people who have said they're going to come. So,
Fantastic.
Caxton Street Brewing Co. From midday on Saturday. So we're running a live event. Basically, from midday, we're hanging out. But the first game of the Saturday slate, which is the Rabbitohs and the Knights, not the best game. You might as well come and play with me, where you can win a bunch of free beers if you correctly pick trick.
If you're looking at having a loose weekend, Caxton Street Brewing Co. is the place to be.
The only brewery on the Caxton too, so they're the guys. I love them.
Yeah, it's going to be one awesome event. I cannot wait for it. First time at Magic Round as well, so I am pumped up. And the games that we have for this weekend are incredible, actually. There's a lot of 50-50 games, starting with the Sharks and Eels. And for me, this game is way more 50-50 as it was maybe 2 weeks ago, if you were looking ahead into the schedule. The Sharks, they're really falling off at the moment. I don't like where they're at. And the Eels come into this one fresh off the bye. Sharks 5-day turnaround.
And the Eels are undefeated in the last fortnight. So that's pretty exciting. Red hot form. Now, I look at this one and I go, I think Parramatta's going to get up. I've made a bet with Blindside actually this week. So the loser has to make a 30-second video on why the winning team is going to win the comp this year, and post it to Instagram.
Oh, goodness.
So I'm going to have to
I really don't want to see you doing that.
Look, I'll have a few drinks and I'll get into it. But my prediction for this one, though, is Nicho Hynes to go over 60 in fantasy. I just think he rediscovered that running game over the last 20 minutes of that last game and sort of remembered that he can engage the defense physically every now and then as well. And he's got that ability, right? I just haven't seen it from him so far. So as a fantasy coach, I'm waiting for it. I saw it. I'm going to back it to happen again.
Yeah, look, this Sharks team, they're the biggest enemies of themselves right now. They were on the weekend. I think they had maybe 6-7 chances to win that game against the Tigers, and just up here didn't connect with what they were doing on the field. It was just an utter shambles, the end of that game. I couldn't believe what I was watching. For the big matchup this week, I've identified that Ramian and Stone Street, they love going down that right side. Nicho Hynes, as you mentioned, they will go against Russell and Addo-Carr this week. Not a great matchup.
Best winger on the planet.
Yeah, and you got the niggler in the form of Sean Russell. He's up there. But I'm going to get on Para as well. I love the 3 points that you'll get for this upset. And I actually think Hopgood has a bit of a bounce-back game this week. Few offloads. I'm backing him to get 4+ offloads in this game. So hopefully Para get a win. Unfortunately, I won't be there to see it. My flight does get in a little bit late on Friday evening. But the next game we have is the Roosters versus the Dolphins. And again, another 50-50 game. We have the Roosters coming off a phenomenal performance, and you'd think that a lot of people would get on them, but I assume that the Dolphins are actually the favourites in this one at the moment.
Marginal. 52% to 48.
Okay.
So, I look at this one and I go, oh, what's going to happen? I'm trying to find a tiebreaker. Nat Butcher is out for an extended period now, so that's not great news for the Roosters. But the Dolphins are without Max Plath in this game. They get
I thought he was going to be back, but he has not been named on the bench or otherwise. And the Dolphins were great once again for the first 20 minutes of the game last week, and I think they have enough points in them to beat a team like the Roosters. But this Roosters side were phenomenal, and Sandon Smith is the guy that I'd highlight here. He is going to be pairing up with Crichton this week, going against another young half in Isaiah Katoa and Fini Fuiaki. That is the big matchup for me. It's about who wins that battle, because Katoa, Sandon Smith, they're in pretty red-hot form right now. I actually think the Dolphins can get this one done. Are you in the same boat?
I'm going Dolphins as well.
Yeah.
The big thing there is Marshall King comes back, and I'm a Marshall King fan. I think he's got to be in his bag. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I'm also going to go Hugo Savala under 40 fantasy points. I think everyone's gone a little crazy on this. And
you picked him up in our Supercoach draft, and you're not happy with him either.
No, look, he went well last week. He killed it last week. He went like 60 points last week.
Okay, right.
But everyone's sort of forgotten that he hasn't really had that attacking game consistently.
No.
I think the Dolphins win this game, and I think he is a bit quieter. I'm sort of picking him for like a 38, 37. It's not going to be under 40 by a lot, but everyone's sort of treating him like he's this locked-in starter in your fantasy side, and I think we need to temper expectations a bit.
The Roosters are super hit and miss as well, kind of like the team they played last week in the Dragons. Like they'll turn up a phenomenal performance. The next week you could expect them to be back in the doldrums again. It's a bit weird. I'm loving whoever runs at Cody Nikorima. Just because I don't love his defensive abilities. Sil Wong will be running at him this week, so I've backed him to get a try. But I do think the Dolphins will win this game.
A couple of Dolphins tips, and now we're going across to your most hated team, the Knights.
Come on,
you're a Knights hater.
Look,
I'm a Knights lover.
I backed him for the spoon. I've got to show the hate again. But unfortunately, it's kind of continued on from last year, guys. As I've said, as long as they have Adam O'Brien as the coach, I won't be supporting the Knights in any way, shape, or form.
Knights fans are watching along and they're agreeing with you there. Adam O'Brien, like
finally though,
the choices he's making, like you can't keep swapping your little halves around every single week for 2 years straight. And Phoenix Crossland came on at lock last week. Like, what are you doing? I will say though, Knights get up in this game. Knights upset is near guaranteed in my view. Like if there's a lock, I'm certain of it. I might put some money on it. Like the Knights they're legit. And I'll give you a few reasons. Jacob Safidi is one reason. Tyson Frizzell is another reason. Adam Elliott is another reason.
They left out Thomas Cant, though. What are your thoughts on that?
He's not getting over the advantage line. Like he's a defensive stalwart there. So I think their go forward picks up here. And Ponga's been, to be frank, embarrassing.
Very quiet.
He's not been good at all. I don't know if it's his fault, though. Like we know who Ponga is. We've seen it for half a decade now. He's been playing at first receiver a lot.
It's a joke.
But he hasn't cracked 2 tackle breaks since round 2. And to me, that has to be intentional. Like, no, really, there's no...
So you think Ponga's out there doing it because he...
No, not
or
that.
He's not doing it.
I just don't feel like he's trying to attack. Like, no, really, if you're
You're accusing Ponga of not trying.
If you're Kalen Ponga, how are you not cracking 2 tackle breaks?
He's an elusive fellow.
We're in round 9.
Maybe the defenders haven't been getting close enough to make tackles or contact.
He hasn't had a line break either. It's been 6 weeks. Like, this is a compliment to him. He's just so capable that he breaks 2 tackles walking out onto the field.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and he's had games of 0. Like, if you count Ponga, that's just not good enough. So, I don't know. He's either injured or he's not in it mentally. Like, it's not correct. I think they bounce back, though. So, Knights get the win. Big upset in TBC. And I'm backing Callum Ponga over 50 fantasy points. So that little shit talk was sort of a preview.
No. Look, I'm on the Knights as well. Yeah. So
wow.
That's actually changed from my Monday tip, guys.
Is it because of Jack Whiten? Or?
It is because of Jack Whiten. Yep. I don't love the Lewis Dodd, Jaden Sullivan halves. That's just a defensive nightmare. Yeah. And what I mean by they're going to be missing a lot of tackles. I'm actually picking Kalen Ponga for a bounce back as well. I've got him to make 3 tries this week. He needs to involve his outside men. And he needs to stop, as you said, playing in that first receiver role. He needs someone to connect him to the ruck. Yeah. And neither Fletcher Sharp can't do that. He's more of the outside guy as well. But he just needs Cogger to pass him the ball. Like Cogger needs to stand first receiver, just pass him the ball. That's it. And stand back and let Ponga be Ponga. I think the Knights do bounce back. They're kind of due for a win. And the Rabbitohs just don't have the troops at the moment, but they are playing some pretty inspiring football. I think they play right till the 80th minute and make this a close one just because the Knights also can't score points is the only worry that I have
That's
there.
our live game, by the way, as well.
Yes, it is.
If you're in the venue with us, if you're at the brewery there, Caxton Street Brewery, any correct try score prediction, the first person to show me it wins a jug of beer.
Fantastic.
Like just all throughout the game, it's absolutely cracker. But it's going to be so fun.
You're going to be competing against opposition tables as well, guys. Yeah, so we'll be throwing down the gauntlet to you guys coming to the event on Saturday. Next game, we have the Warriors taking on the Cowboys. Now, both of these teams got pretty good wins last week. I thought, the Warriors, they hung in there, and the Cowboys were absolutely outstanding in that second half. They put on 6 tries against the Titans. Tom didn't. Is it at the point now where we're starting to think that maybe he should start over Munster for Origin?
No.
Yes. Yeah, it's 100% what I think. No. Munster's so out of form, it's not funny. He has been out of form for 2 years. People keep talking about him as this big game player, but I didn't see it in last year's grand final. I don't see it when Hughes isn't in the team. Like, he doesn't step up. Yep. I'm thinking that Munster at this point in time I don't know if he's getting any better, whereas Dearden is getting better. And I didn't think that he would do that coming into this year, losing Chad Townsend.
It's not insane. There is an insane rumor going around right now, though. I don't know if you heard this.
I have.
Munster to fullback and
For Origin.
yeah, Munster the fullback, which would make space for Dearden.
You don't often put the head in the hands, right?
Yeah, I just think the journalists have gotten really, really liberal this year with making up absolute garbage. And I'm just not resharing anything now on Instagram because it's just all such filth. Like they're just
There's
lying.
no one in their right mind would do
Yeah.
that.
But the issue is like Channel 9 and Fox and all these guys, they've gotten onto TikTok and Instagram. So they're just looking for stuff to peddle now. And, we heard from this guy waiting at the bus stop out the front of the stadium that this is going to happen. It's like, well, that's not a source at the, Queensland HQ, but okay. So yeah, it's not going to happen.
Mhm.
I will say though, in this game, you're not going to like me, but our Warriors contingent of fans will like this. I'm going to go the Warriors to beat the Cowboys, and it's even odds in TBC right now.
Mhm.
I think it'll firm towards the Cowboys closer to kickoff because Cowboys are in great form and it's in Queensland. But I'm back in the Wars. I think they're going to have a good crowd there. The Kiwis love Brisbane.
Yep.
And they're going to get up on the back of Aaron Clark, 55 plus fantasy points.
He's been killing it lately.
He's
If
a
he gets the
beast.
minutes as well, like he could be anything.
Yeah.
Been a great replacement for Tohu Harris, who they lost over the offseason. For me, I think the Cowboys are in really red hot form, and I don't know if the Warriors can necessarily score the amount of points that the Cowboys will be able to put up against this Warriors outfit. Like, they're not the best defensive team. The one thing that worries me about the Warriors is they don't drop the ball. They're the best completing team in the competition. That seems to get on our nerves quite a lot. I have backed Lika Halasima to score a try this week. We saw what Bo Fermor did, and Lika Halasima will be playing in the same position, so running between Clifford and Bateman, who I still don't know why Bateman is our first choice second row. But if Lukey was fit, I don't think he'd be in the team. I've got to get on the Cowboys, man. They're killing it, playing awesome, and we're on a hot streak. So look out for the Cowboys. Next up, we have the Tigers and the Dragons. And I thought the Tigers got a very emotional victory last week. It was all the pressure's on them. All the eyes are on them. And they came out and they competed with the Sharks right until the 88th minute. I thought so much that they were going to lose at multiple points during that game. But they hung on for a very impressive victory. And penalty goal, not so happy with the ending of that game. I think every NRL fan wouldn't be. But they got the 2 points, and that's what counts in this league. And the Dragons, they were dead set awful, and that's something that I've been calling for a long time. You can't trust these Dragons, mate. Every single time they look good, they're on a 2-game winning streak. It's like, oh, yeah, well, let's go tip them.
Yeah.
No, like you can't do that, and I've been very vocal in the way I think about the Dragons. So, in my opinion, they're due for a win this week. Are you in the same boat?
Yeah, I mean, the Tigers are bit hit and miss. They've beat up on some easier matchups. That was a tough performance. Cronulla just dead set choked that game away. Like that was one of the most
it was very
terribly managed games. And I've never had a team fall so far in my premiership rankings in like 20 minutes.
They're not even.
It was like that
last top 4 anymore.
Last 10 minutes and then Golden Point. Like I went from they'll get back into it. They'll be a top 4 team to that is the worst run team I've ever seen in my life. Like they just had so many chances, and they're so talented as a team, but they're just so frustrating.
That is the biggest thing. That their 1 to 17 are just genuine superstars all through there.
Yeah,
and they can't get it together at all.
And started talking smack to Blindside. That's where that bet came from. But look, in this game here, I'm going to go the Dragons. I tipped the Dragons against the Storm when they got that win. I'm a bit of a Dragons whisperer, I would consider myself.
Wow.
And I think the Dragons get up in this one. King Togia comes in, which I've heard
he's exciting
about him.
Yeah, I think he's an exciting.
Gives Flanagan a bit more leeway to play that more 7 role, which I think he's better at.
I find Flanagan and Ilias to be very similar players in a way. Flanagan marginally the better player.
A bit more creative.
In my opinion,
less
Ilias
ability there.
Ilias doesn't really offer anything, and like in King Togia has got great footwork. He's one of these guys kind of in the same mold as like a young Benji Marshall, but maybe not as talented footwork-wise.
Okay, wow.
So he showed a little bit of it last year, some really good fleet-footedness to score a try. If you go back and watch some of the highlights of Dragons games, I mean, I'm not that well-versed, but I remember it. And he's a rookie. You know how much I love looking at rookies. Is he one to pick up, though, in fantasy?
I'm giving it a week.
Locks down that spot.
Yeah. The Dragons
see what he does.
They're a mess, and they're making erratic decisions now. So Hamish Stewart is starting at lock over Jack DeBellin.
Yeah. That's Flano, though.
I like Hamish, though. But you don't buy the rookie who's coming in to play next to his son. Let's not accusing him of anything, but he's probably not going to drop
Starts
his
with
son.
N.
No, so I'm going to give it a week, and I think we're spoiled. My prediction this week, though, is a bounce back. So Dylan Egan last week didn't play the minutes. They were chasing points. It sort of felt like a game where he just didn't get as involved as he normally does. Scored a 32, I believe it was, in about 50 minutes.
Yeah, I had him as well.
Yeah, I think he bounces back this week. Like, he's shown us over and over again that he's that guy. So I'm going over 45 fantasy points for him.
Yeah, and I think the Tigers have that stout defenses, although the Roosters could be said the same for them. Yep. My big prediction this week is that Luai will get less than 30 run meters.
Jeez.
Look, the guy doesn't run the football.
Wow.
Maybe he can watch this and be like, oh, maybe I do need to start running the football a little bit more.
I don't know if he's going to have that
You know what I saw last week?
I think he just sent Senior Taruba to start making cyberbullying posts for you, mate.
He just doesn't do it. And again, I think we go on like a broken record on this show about how it's the best part of his game, but he never utilised it.
It is the best thing. Yeah.
He didn't utilise it at Penrith. He's not utilising it at the Tigers.
Oh, he had stretches where he really used it.
Maybe when Cleary was out, but any game that Cleary was in there, he just kind of went into his shell. And I want to see Luai, because I know he can be this great player who can beat defenders, make them miss, challenge the line. I don't want to see him giving try assists off kicks. Like, that's not what I signed up Luai for. No doubt Tigers fans are happy with him at the moment. And no doubt Penrith look terrible without him.
Yep.
But I just want to see him do a little bit more. Yeah, I'm wanting more out of Luai. I don't know how to get it.
I'm with you. And every now and then you do see him run the ball, and he gets teams looking scared.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Yeah, I'm with you there completely. I think your prediction's pretty outrageous, but if it comes true, we'll do a victory.
It's happened before this season already.
I know.
So
I know. He's had
you know that a couple of times. Right. Next game is the Titans taking on the Dogs. Now, I just think the Titans are headed towards the wooden spoon at the moment. They've dropped David Fafita. They're still persisting with this Jojo Fafita, Philip Sami thing. I'm pretty sure they've done the same thing that they did last week. I expect Philip Sami to play on the wing, even though he's been named at centre. And Jojo Fafita, who's named on the wing.
Mind games, watch out.
It's not mind games.
Well, no, teams are prepping for Phil Sami and Jojo Fafita.
Like, they're prepping to score as many tries as they want against them.
They don't want to be Gutherino'd by Philip Sami.
Oh, God.
He loves a little Gutherino.
They cannot make defensive decisions either. Like, last week, we tore them to shreds.
Yeah, I think you're being a bit harsh on the Titans. Like, they are,
for the roster they have, I think it's warranted.
No, they're heading for a spoon. And I go look at them. I go, great. Like, my whole hype for them in the preseason was Keanu Keeney and Jaden Campbell.
And they're not there.
They're not there. They're both out for long periods of time. It's pretty depressing for them. I think they're all a bit sad about it. And Regan
you sound sad about it.
I love the Titans. I would love to see the Titans doing well. I think they're a fun side, but this is a pathetic rendition of the Titans. And, when they're good, I like them. I really do like them. But Regan Campbell-Gillard, as a para fan, I know what he can do. And he's been pretty average this year. Like,
that's old age, I think.
Big downgrade from Jolliffe last year, bringing him in. And they've got Jolliffe sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
So I just sort of look at that and go, wow, his minutes are declining. I think he played 24 minutes last week.
They're just
RCG.
But like,
no, but he's not playing well. Like, he's not playing anywhere near. He used to play for the Blues. Like, it was like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
He was Para's basically best player last year.
I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can expect that much out of a over 30 front rower who's been doing it for 10 years
in a team where he's playing next to Tino.
No, I agree.
Botawaker. Like, they got guys.
No, I know they have guys, but if you look at like Jason Taumalolo, his role has had to change and develop quite a lot over the last 2-3 years.
Yep.
And I think maybe Regan Campbell-Gillard is getting to that point where his role or what you come to expect from him needs to change.
Bad signing is what you're saying.
Well, I don't necessarily think it's a bad signing because he's a good, experienced guy. He's been around the league for a long time. And he brings that wealth of knowledge about the position and about how to play rugby league.
I'm gonna counter you here because I think everyone's trash talked David Clemmer, and I think RCG has been worse and on more money. Like he's been worse. He's definitely been worse. Like Clemmer, you know what you're getting with Clemmer. RCG's been bad, and I'm not going out for RCG. Like, I'm saying this because I love RCG. I'm a big RCG fan, right? Yeah. I want to see him playing well. And I was excited to see that forward rotation work, and this is all frustration because the Titans were a team that I thought could make the 8 this year if they were fully fit. I thought they could do it. So I'm frustrated as a sympathizer of the Titans. Like, I'm almost speaking like a fan in a way.
I didn't see them doing it. I didn't have them in my top 8, but I had them close. And
they're not fit though. They tore teams
No, but like even when they're fit, like they don't have the right team structure for me anyway. They've got 3 fullbacks in the team. It doesn't work.
So you're not tipping them against the Dogs then, I'm guessing?
Of course I'm not. I think Bronson, Jerry, and Montoya tear them to shreds. I don't care how many players Dogs have out, especially off a loss too. And Dogs got embarrassed last week. No doubt the Titans are probably due for a win, but I don't see them beating the Dogs. We've already seen them play the Dogs this year, and they were terrible.
Yeah. Dogs fans too, like they've doubled their fan base in about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
They all would have bought tickets to Magic Round and
Absolutely
up as well. But they might have cancelled.
Good holiday from the boys from Belmore.
Yeah, but they might have cancelled their tickets after the loss though, because a lot of them are new fans.
Yeah, I just think my big prediction this week is that the Titans miss over 40 tackles as well.
Wow.
So again, I think they missed 40 in the second half last week. They can't stick to tackles.
I'll back you up. I'm going Jacob Preston, absolute masterclass in this game. He's going to put himself forward for Origin. He's not going to make the team. He's going to put himself forward. 60 plus fantasy points for him.
Fantastic. I think he makes the squad as well. Moving on to the next game, we have the Panthers taking on the Broncos. Now, this Panthers side, mate, I reckon I've tipped them. I think we're 8 rounds into the season. I think I tipped them 7 out of the 8 weeks.
Wow.
That they have
She's been following me
in the comp. Yeah, I've gotten 2 right from that. 3 right because I didn't tip them 1 week and they lost.
You get though when you tip against them?
I got like now 4, you don't need more.
Points. I got like 4 for Manly.
You don't need more.
Last
now
week
you actually get more points this week for tipping them. They're definitely the outsiders for this one. And I love the matchup this week of Hunt and Wilson going against Cleary and Martin this week. Cleary to me looks like he's afraid of contact a little bit. Like he's not taking on the line as much.
Okay.
He's also not getting that much time to be able to affect his role that he has in previous years. I don't know what's happened there. He seems to be getting drilled a lot this week.
Yeah,
like
getting smashed.
This year. A lot of teams are eyeing him up and just saying, yep, hammer him right here, not giving him any space with the ball. I think they're on struggle street, the Panthers.
I mean, it's hard because Dylan Edwards hasn't really been around a lot this year. And when he's been in the team, he hasn't offered much at all in attack. Like there's been a few times where he's had sort of opportunities and not converted them. So you got him there. You got Blaze Talangi, who I don't think has been great. Jack Cole's the other option. Jack Cole's best game was when Cleary wasn't playing. He was actually really capable looking in that game. And then just with Cleary, he doesn't do anything. So I just think they're not getting a lot out of the supporting cast. And I think I'll add to this. I just think it's totally perplexing that they're running Isaiah Papali'i as a bench prop when he's arguably he's not better than Martin, but he's the most impactful attacking forward at their club, and they're wasting him. And they're going, no, we're gonna do Sorensen, like
Maverick guy,
yeah. And Sorensen's now out, by the way, for 3 weeks. We don't know what's happening. But my prediction this week is that Papali'i will finally get to play on the edge and pump out 60 plus fantasy points. It'd be huge.
I think if he does, it goes well beyond the realm of possibility that they could win this game. If he does. On the back of Isaiah Papali'i. Yeah. It may be a weird thing that playing with Cleary seems to dwarf his other halves partner because they don't really get a chance to shine a lot of the time. I think some of Luai's best games were when Cleary was out as well on your Jack Cole point.
Luai was better with Moses and Origin as well.
They're getting Blaze to do this weird thing where he passes the ball way before the line.
Yep.
I don't know whether that's an instruction or whether that's just Blaze not wanting to run the ball to the line. But again, Blaze's best quality is his running game. So I don't know why you wouldn't utilize that. Yep. Great running 6. I'm going to get on Penrith again this week. It seems like I'm banging my head against the wall and I might be in crazy town in a mental hospital. But I can just see Penrith bouncing back and winning this game. And to me, I don't like to buy into the Broncos being this. Yeah, but the Broncos are being hyped up way too much.
You're cooked.
After beating one team.
We're Magic Round. We're in Brisbane all weekend.
I don't care.
Brisbane. We're in Brisbane.
Penrith won 4 in a row against Broncos.
Fans won't be traveling anywhere.
Penrith have the mental edge on the Broncos.
Have you seen the Panthers crowds at Parramatta? They're not going to Brisbane.
Since round 1, 2023, Penrith have beaten the Broncos every single game. They have a mental edge over the Broncos. No, it's not. It's the same. It's most of the same Broncos.
Cobbo Broncos. Cobbo at fullback.
I don't love Cobbo at fullback, but he did play really well last week.
I think
give that
tough.
to him. No, he's not tough.
There's critiques of Cobbo.
No, he's not tough.
I'll throw some numbers at you. We're looking at like Buzz Rothfield and what's the other guy?
Kenty.
But look, he is tough. 200 meters a game and 8 tackle breaks a game when he plays fullback in reserve grade. Right, pumps out numbers. Last week he was tough. You see him running back to the
Oh,
line.
that's what I meant.
He was
Week.
coming back to the line with a vengeance. It was like Sam Burgess,
Yep.
like coming at the set defensive lines.
Yep.
I've never been more impressed by someone Cobbo in my life. I saw that and thought, oh, a club needs to sign him to play fullback. And I've never thought that before.
That screamed to me, I want that Broncos number 1 jersey. And with Reece Walsh out of form horribly this year, I think we have to say that.
Yeah.
Cobbo showed more in 1 week than Reece Walsh has shown me in 6 weeks.
Mate, he's got another 3 weeks at least.
Yeah.
Could happen.
But my big prediction for the game is that Xavier Willison playing on the edge will have 4 tackle breaks this week.
Yeah, okay, that's not that big. But,
it's not that big. But
it's
it'll happen.
A medium size. It's like a double cheeseburger.
Are you back in for double that? Maybe I'll double down and say 8 tackle breaks.
There we go. That's a bit better. Okay. I'm going Broncos to win, but I'm going Papali'i to go 60+ in fantasy. So
hopefully he gets that edge spot. Last game of the round, we have the Storm taking on the Raiders, and I love this matchup all the time because we have a long storied history of this matchup. Big matchup for me is that Hughes and Katoa, great punchy attacking duo, take on another great punchy attacking duo in Ethan Strange and Hudson Young on the left side. Hudson Young, probably the best second rower in the competition through 8 rounds.
Easily. Not even a conversation.
Does he play Origin starting? I
mean, Gus Crichton or Liam Martin. Like, to me, when I look at the Blues side, they're 2 guys who don't really get questioned in their starting spots.
Yep.
I think you could say Gus isn't in the best form, but he's playing next to Sandon Smith, who is a run first, run second, run third, 5/8. So isn't really getting a lot of ball. And then Martin's club form is always a little bit patchy, and he always turns up in big games. So I don't think he starts. I don't think there's any chance he starts. I think the pivot they make is that he plays on the bench and Liam Martin plays some minutes in the middle.
Yep.
That's my view of it.
I just wonder whether we're giving maybe too much agency to players playing last year. Mm-hmm. And I know that's all we have to go off. Past performance doesn't indicate future performance. Superannuation there. It was pretty lame, wasn't it? But I do think that Hudson Young deserves his shot. Whether it'll come this year, it might have to be through injury to start, but I'd pick him on the bench 100%.
Okay.
I'm going to a Melbourne player for my big prediction in this game, and it's something that I don't think he's done this year, but I expect the Storm to be under the pump a little bit with this big Raiders forward pack. And I think Jahrome Hughes could kick him a 40-20 out of trouble. That's my big prediction. Jahrome Hughes to get a 40-20 this week. But as far as the tip goes, I want to get on the Raiders, man. I think they've got a great forward pack and they're really rolling. If they can stop the bleeding for the first 20 minutes that they've been doing the last couple of weeks, so if they give a lead away to the Storm can really make you pay for it. If they don't do that, I think it goes a long way to winning this game. So the first 20 minutes will tell me. Yeah,
Storm a bit fragile right now as well. No Harry Grant and the team. Obviously, the back line's had some injuries too. You've got Jahrome Hughes playing with half a shoulder. It's not ideal for them. So, 24% of people have tipped the Raiders.
I think it's crazy.
76% on the Storm. You're getting 4 points compared to 1.3. So I'm on the Raiders 100%. I think anything above 3, I would be getting on the Raiders. It's to go up. But I am backing Cam Munster to back up last week. So he had his first game over 100 meters this season in round 8, which was pretty crazy, but racked up a bunch of tackle breaks, looked like himself, pumped out 60+ in fantasy with only a line break in attacking stats. Mm-hmm. He comes out and performs this week. So I think he goes well in a loss, and Canberra really established themselves as a gun team because they're a team that, I'm going to brag here, they were wooden spoon favorites preseason. I put money on them to make the 8. Everyone laughed at me. And now everyone's like, of course they're good. It's like, no, you all weren't saying that when they were wooden spoon favorites
8 weeks ago.
Everyone rewrites history.
It's like the Mandela effect. I think you can go back and
whereas our predictions are written down.
Written down. I'm constantly paying for it every week, especially if the Knights win. I cop it every week.
Oh yeah.
And the Knights win, but it hasn't happened a lot this year.
Raiders win for me for sure.
Yeah. With you 100% on that. And guys, those are our tips, predictions. Guys, join in all the banter with us. Download the TBC Live app in the description below. Join us at the Caxton Street Brewing Co. on Saturday for the Rabbitohs and Knights game.
And the pre-game too, by the way, if you want to have 945 beers with me. I promise I'll have that many. So it'll be sweet.
Long he'll be too busy with people's phones trying to rate their teams live as well. So I'll be free to have a chat with you if you need anything. Guys, we'll catch you on the next one. I'm Bergs. That's Longy. Peace.